Welcome to the Sports Panel. I am your host, Will. Like always, like, subscribe, all of the things. We're almost to 500 subscriptions on YouTube. We got some good things going set up for this next couple weeks. So looking forward to all the engagement. It is hot as a motherfucker in here. But we're going to get through it. It's hot as shit, bro. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, Mr. Daddy, sir. Y'all know it. The Pacers.
Come on.
Game 7, let's get it.
It's hard to go behind that after you said that, bro. Oh gosh.
You shouldn't be allowed in the United Center no more.
It's the coach.
Man, fuck the United Center,
do what
man.
I do. Follow me on all platforms at Bootsy Collins.
Bro.
But yeah, you know who it is. It's the coach. So let's get this rolling.
Bootsy.
Yes, sir.
It's your boy Jason, man, the expert. Got 2 special guests with me tonight. Let's get to it. And this nigga's wilding with his hat too.
Yeah, you definitely
Going
tripping
crazy.
with the Pacers hat.
It's going crazy.
We in Indiana and these dudes over here hating, man.
No, I think I think the Pacers are going to pull it off too. But we'll get into that.
Don't introduce yourself.
I already do. Yeah. When
They know who he is. Already.
Everybody know who the fuck T-Pain
He
is.
did that whole little
T-Pain is
soliloquy.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we know who you is, T-Pain.
Yeah.
T-Pain is crazy.
That's wild. So we'll get right into it. We'll start with a little hockey. The Florida Panthers, they went back-to-back. That kind of poses a question because we haven't seen a back-to-back champion in a lot of sports lately. Is it easier to have a dynasty in the NHL than any other major sport? I mean, we have a couple dynasties, not dynasties, but I guess the Blackhawks was a dynasty that was recent. The Red Wings of the 90s were a dynasty.
Wait. When the Blackhawks was a dynasty.
Tampa
when they
Bay
won 3
Devils.
Stanleys.
Yeah,
Cups.
three Stanley
Three,
Cups in 4
Like-
years.
like about 4 years ago.
They won 3?
Mid 2000s, bro. Like once they ran white. Was it?
I mean, I know they won
2010s.
I know they won 2.
Yeah, it was
They
They
won
won 3.
They won 3. I know they won 2.
Yeah. I want to say they won
Tampa
3 like
Bay Devils.
every other year.
No, was it the Florida or something? No, Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay. They went to 3 straight. I think NHL it is easier to have dynasties though.
What?
Yeah, I think it's easier because they have them more often than any other sport.
Well, you got to think.
No, they
about
don't. They don't have more than basketball.
Yeah, when the last time basketball had a dynasty?
The Golden State Warriors.
That's arguably.
What
you mean? They
What's to
won-
argue?
Some
They
people
won
argue
4.
about
He
that.
can't argue
4
today. That's what he can't do. He
They
can't argue
won
tonight.
4 in 8 years.
Yeah, that's not really
That's
dynasty.
what San Antonio did.
That's what I'm saying. That's arguably too.
You arguing?
You
it?
just said San Antonio was a
So,
dynasty last.
I said if you consider them a dynasty, then whatever season. I didn't say I consider them a dynasty.
Good job.
So what I would consider a dynasty is winning the multiple in a row. Like you get 3 in a row, or you get 3
same.
3 and 4 years type. So if you win 2 and then you lose 4, like the Patriots, that's not a dynasty. You just had a good run.
Well, the problem with the Patriots is none of the players was consistent. They didn't have the same team all those times.
That's true.
So Brady was a dynasty by himself, but him and Belichick, but he had different players every time.
Right. Like
Yeah, but
He's a dynasty.
A dynasty.
The organization was a dynasty.
You lose half or more than half of the years that you're there.
Nah, it's a
That's
period
what
of
they say.
time. That rookie year till pretty much his whole time as a Patriot, he was.
That's
Super
what I'm
Bowl
saying.
contender.
He went 10 years without winning as a Patriot. Just
Well,
like
the first.
I'm talking
half
about
against-
when he was winning.
They had a dynasty and then they fell off and then he won again.
So they were pretty.
he was just still on the
competitive.
team.
Because he won 3 and 4 years, didn't he?
No,
I know he won back to back, didn't he?
who
he
you
won
talking
back.
He won back to back, but he never got 3 in
But
a row.
back to back is hard to do in football.
Yeah, but he never.
And
got
he
3
won
in a
like
row.
6 more. Didn't he only got 8 rings? 7? That's crazy.
If you look at the last
been in
winners
like
of the Stanley
9.
Cup, the Florida Panthers, of course, won 2 years in a row. Back in 21 and 20, Tampa Bay Lightning won 2 years in a row.
They're in Boston, right?
Before that, I think
Washington.
the Pittsburgh Penguins won 2 in a row in 17 and 16. And then the Blackhawks won in 15, 13, 10. Boston won back in 2011, but that was the only one that they got. Pittsburgh again in 2009, and then Detroit won in 2008. So if you go on and so all the way down to the 80s, like the 80s where you had the Islanders won 4 years straight, and then the Oilers won 4 out of 5 years in the 80s. So
it was like 8 teams then, wasn't it?
Yeah. So everybody's going back to back in hockey. There's also, when you look at sports and you look at how things play out, like the NBA is just a victim of the cap.
Yeah.
So it's harder. I would say it's harder to win back to back in the NBA now.
Well,
because of the way that the salary cap works versus
well, in the 3 major sports, you got teams trying to make moves every year. In the middle of the season, in the off season, during the draft. So your team can change multiple ways in a couple years. In hockey, I don't see that. You don't see a bunch of trades every year. And
yeah, but I think it's injuries that's really halted the NBA's dynasties.
That too.
You see a team that win it one year, and then the next year they major star get injured, and he's never the same again, and then they never really make it to the top or something.
Because Golden State could have 2 more rings if it wasn't for injuries.
Also, post Golden State, it looks like a lot of basketball franchises, they're quick to pick up on the trends. So you had like after Golden State was like set the precedent for 3-pointers, right? And then after that, like everyone caught on. Once everybody caught on and got to positionless basketball, it's very easy for people for teams
Made it hard.
Well, yeah, because you got to think, 3 years ago, the 2 teams that are in the finals, the Pacers only had 24 wins 3 years ago, and OKC only had 25. And then in a 3-year turnaround, they're both in the finals.
But those are 2 teams that don't play positionless basketball. They play tradition.
They
do. So they got bigs, power forwards, small forwards, shooting guards, point guards.
I'm not saying that they.
So they need to bring that back.
I'm not saying that they're winning because they play positionless basketball. What I'm saying is that once that was introduced to the league, then the adaptability of people having to adapt to different play styles very quickly on the whim became like, think of if someone starts a trend in the NBA with their lineup, by the middle of the season, we've already figured it out and we've already taken it out. Whereas it seemed like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, if there's a trend, they could win a championship off that trend if it's good enough. So it just seems like the science of the game moves so much faster.
So I'm sorry, I don't see it as the science. So you can use Cleveland this year as an example. So they build up their team. They had a good regular season where they were kind of running away with the league. But by the time the playoffs caught up with them, the injuries
that too
took over.
I'm saying that too, but
Indiana would have still beat them.
I don't know. I don't know.
Not at full power. They was killing everybody.
Yeah.
What I was
everybody
thinking,
got injured for Cleveland.
What I was thinking is more like you remember when so let's say like back in the 2010s how there was a big 3. And that big 3, if that big 3 was good enough, it would just run through the league and win a championship. That's what Boston did. That's what Miami eventually was able to do.
Boston only won 1 though.
They only won 1, but they were still dominant that entire time. I mean, they went to the finals twice.
Yeah.
So
And they didn't go 1 year because of injuries.
right, yeah.
KG
So,
got hurt.
but if you look at the past 10 or past 6 or 7 years, it's been a different championship or different champion each year. They can click onto the trends a lot quicker. You can't just win a whole championship off of the roster that you come in with or the schemes that you come in with. It just seems like the game moves so much faster than it did a couple years ago.
I just think
that's
there's no
taking the
chemistry.
credit for coaches should be able to dominate like they used to. You don't have coaches putting together schemes and things like that.
I don't know what the reason is, but it just seems like the game moves faster transitionally in how it's played, quicker now than it did before, and quicker than any other sport. If you look at football, those like they're like imagine like when the Wildcat offense became a thing, it was a thing only for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then they found out how to stop it, and
Teams
then
caught on to it.
Well, the pieces are moving fast.
yeah.
Every time you make a move on your team, the team dynamic changes. Now there's no chemistry. They don't leave teams together long enough to build chemistry to have dynasty.
NHL, they do. They either like if I'm losing a player, I'm building somewhere through the draft. I mean, think about the Blackhawks. They got old boy about 2 years ago,
Connor Bernard.
Now he's gonna start to build. So you think about it's the team that's staying longer together. I think matter of fact, Carolina I mean, the Panthers when they went like what 3 years in a row to the finals. Lost. Now they get back 2 years or so. That's 5 years.
It seems like in the
keeping their team
NHL
together.
they have a better farm system. They have a
barely hear
better
about
salary
trades.
cap situation. They're just the teams are. I mean, it is one of the oldest sports, but it looks like it evolved in the right ways versus baseball, where it's still a bit archaic and they can't move things around. They still don't have a salary
So
cap, things like that.
I don't know where I read it. I can't remember where I read that, but they were saying that the NBA happy right now the way the league been going because when they signed the collective bargaining agreement, when they changed the pay, this is what they wanted so teams could stay together longer.
Yeah.
You don't see people leave as much since 2020 because of the agreement.
Yeah,
So they happy about this.
This is a present of the new collective bargaining
Bargaining.
agreement.
Because they only allowing you to have 2 max players now.
Yeah.
That's it. If you trying to get that third,
Unless
like,
you're really trying to pay.
But I believe it's too many analytical people in the front offices of the team. They don't have a lot of old professional players and things like that. It's more people who's based the game off the analytics and the statistics of the games. That's why they make a lot of changes and they do a lot of things that really don't have a lot of sense when it comes to basketball now. You know what I'm saying? But it may look good in the long run, but we look at it as fans like, why the hell did you make that move? But they look at it analytic and statistic wise, like, hey, this person fit or like that. I just think it's too many of those guys in the front office.
they ain't looking at they not listening to the scouts anymore. The people that's actually going out there, like the NBA combine. I'm scouting this player. I'm telling you, hey, this is who's gonna be good in our system. Then analytics, like he said, they come in like, nah. Analytics say he only shooting about 20% from the 3-point line, and then free throw percentage is not that good. But like, okay, what is that still really telling me? Nothing. That's just stats. That's not telling me who he is as a player. Are you getting out there and literally physically looking at this kid, what he's doing? Nah, they like So they be on their computers hiding behind that shit. I'm like, nah, man, you got to go with that. So
yeah, real quick, I guess. Did you wanted to start with the guess who? It's not
Nah,
gonna.
that wasn't on my bad.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess this moves into, we were talking about the Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, by the time we're watching this, they'll be playing or have played. But Game 7 is tomorrow. It's a sit for all the marbles, and anything can happen in a Game 7 regardless of where you at or what's going on. We'll just go around the room. We'll start with you, Dre, about your prediction for the game.
Well, I'm gonna start with my first prediction by saying OKC was gonna run away with the West, and that they were going to be in the finals.
You were right.
He said that every
And
week.
then-
I thought that you were right about
And
that.
then I'm gonna talk about how the Pacers was going to be in the finals, and I also talked about how they were going to go 7 games, and the Pacers are going to win. So now that the Game 7 is here, I said I was going to wait to Game 7 to make my prediction. Y'all see it, Indiana. Let's go.
oh god,
Let's go.
Crazy.
Let's go. We can do it. We can do it. We got
is
all
crazy.
the marbles.
He said
All
we
the
is-
marbles.
We is crazy.
We is
Who is
talking
we?
about-
I've been living in Indiana my whole life. I done stayed 10 years in Indianapolis.
What's that got to do with anything?
Nah,
Who was your
if you-
team, Dre?
If you lived in Indianapolis,
Bro.
hey, let him rock. Let him rock.
He wasn't in that, nigga.
Let him
Who,
rock.
who was your team, Dre?
When Jordan was playing with the
No,
Bulls.
you sound like a racist white dude. That
When Derrick Rose,
I don't watch
when
basketball
Derrick
since
Rose
Michael
and
Jordan retired.
When Derrick Rose and Luol Deng and them Bulls ended, I haven't watched the Bulls since then.
I can tell because you be having some horrible takes.
Because they ain't did shit.
That's your team, though. So you've been watching the Pacers?
I've been watching everybody. I've been expanding my horizon.
who you got, Corey?
Oh, I'm still taking OKC. I said in 6, but it's in 7. And reason why is like, look, I live in Indiana. I love the state of Indiana, but I can't stand the damn Pacers.
Haters.
Fuck the Pacers. Fuck the Pacers. I don't like Tyrese Halliburton. Motherfucker look like he played like Steve Urkel, like he got some of his game from Steve Urkel. Can't stand his ass. If the Pacers win, I'ma show them love. But if they win, it's gonna be because of Pascal Siakam. And not only top of this, OKC, in order for them to truly win, we know Jalen Williams is gonna step up. Chet Holmgren, bro, where the hell are you fucking been, man? You 7-1 and you letting 6'4" dudes block your shot at the 3-point line. Where you been, bro? You like non-existent. You a big man that just went, hey, I'm just gonna fly off into the wind somewhere. I'm just gonna sit here and chill. You gotta show up, bro. This game 7. Leave it all on the court. Let it go, man. Empty the dang on tank. So
remember, there's no room on the bandwagon for him.
hell no.
No room on the bandwagon tomorrow.
Look, I ain't trying to jump on that damn bandwagon. Let that bandwagon ride past me.
Remember that.
Jason,
Remember
who you
that.
I picked OKC.
Yeah. First off, I appreciate you coming in with the Michigan gear.
Hey, go blue.
Yes, sir.
Go blue.
All day.
The Michigan fans.
I picked OKC, man, but I found myself, and I'm gonna be honest, because I don't lie. I don't lie. I found myself cheering for the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
I have found myself cheering for the Pacers.
In his name.
But I'm a sucker for an underdog. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really got no beef with the Pacers. It's the Pacer fans I don't like. It's the Pacer fans I don't like. Man, it was okay.
Well, how do you like that, but not the
last game?
Knicks though?
Check this out.
That's what I'm saying.
Check this out.
He don't make sense.
Check this out. Last game, a dude came in and the spot I was watching the game at. I know him. I'm not going to shout him out and embarrass him like that, but he's supposed to be a diehard Pacer fan.
Okay.
He was rooting against the Pacers because of the new Pacer fans. I said, "Then you ain't no fan then. Why would you? Why would you?"
Or was it because it's parlay?
No,
Y'all about to say maybe
he one of those Pacer fans I be talking about. How do you?
So he's a Fever fan.
How do you bet against your team because of the fans? It's trash, man.
What was this?
What was his reason?
Yeah.
He said because of the Pacer fans.
What is not to like about it?
The new Pacer fans.
They're just artificial.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What,
Okay.
But what's that got to do with the love for your team?
So he's saying they bandwagon people.
And so he want them to lose the finals. That's crazy.
Man, I know Vern Fleming and them, bro. I'm a real Pacer fan. Shoot, if it wasn't the Bulls back in the day, man, I was going for the Pacers.
I liked one Pacer team, and I was the Ron Artest Pacers.
Oh,
Yeah, that was my
team.
dog.
Them Pacers was dogs.
The stripe unis.
What you got, Bug?
I think the Pacers gonna win though.
That's crazy because there was a different tune last week.
Right.
Me?
I think I know it was me and you Pacers, everybody else OKC.
I don't never think I said okay.
So he the only one that switched.
I didn't switch. I don't think I ever said okay.
No, you switched. You switched Jason.
Who?
You did.
Oh, I said OKC the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I didn't
don't think
switch.
I said okay.
No? Okay.
But you just hedged your bet like a mug.
Yeah, you
Talking
hedged
about,
it.
I'm rooting for the Pacers, but OKC.
And y'all know.
I ain't say I was
I
rooting.
ever said okay.
He said I found myself rooting.
Yeah, I
for the
found myself rooting. for
Who
them.
you were sitting right next to me right here.
No, I ain't stepped on his couch. Yeah, I stepped on his couch.
Nah,
Yeah, because I remember outside the outsiders were Pacers, and then everybody else was OKC. But it's okay.
I reserve the
I
right
said OKC.
to do what the hell I want to do.
This is the same man came in with a John Stocks jersey on, talking
I'm
about
summoning-
I'm summoning the
Hey,
spirits
I
of Herb
summoned
Williams.
the spirits of Rick Smits.
Do you have a
This
Pacers
is all
jersey?
my fault.
Do you have a
No,
Don't wear
But
it.
if the Pacers win, I will have to buy one.
Buy one after they win. Don't
Mr.
buy one
Jersey.
right.
Right? Yeah, I'm not gonna buy one.
You
before.
might be bad luck.
Yeah,
because they got their ass.
I'm
handed to
the
them.
reason why they in Game 7.
Yeah, don't buy
Bro,
no
when you
Pacers
wore that
jersey.
jersey, they got their asses.
Buy
It was
OKC
bad.
jersey.
Yeah, do that.
Get a Shea jersey.
I don't wear nothing those colors.
Oh, that's true.
Still got to be fly.
That is a little floral.
And I take it that the Laker fan over there still got Indiana.
Well, I got Indiana only because I believe in that defense wins championships, and I believe in their defense. And I think
You believe in
when
whose defense?
the Pacers.
Over OKC?
Yeah, because the thing is with the Pacers is when their backs against the wall and they feel the pressure, they respond well to it every single time.
That was crazy.
They switched their defense
Back
up. They
against
went
the
from
wall
a
and
full
feel the
court
pressure.
press to a full court press to a half court press, and that changed it.
Halliburton will hit the game.
But OKC defense is just as smothering though.
It can be. What was that, J Buzz?
It's gonna be poetic justice. Halliburton hit a game winning shot or something.
That'd be
Seven.
tight.
If they win tomorrow, my
He done
feelings
did it.
ain't hurt.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to
it.
stop
I ain't-
disrespecting
why
Tyrese
not?
Halliburton though.
Man,
Yeah, you
I
gotta.
ain't gonna be sitting
Why
there
you don't like
crying.
him
Why?
though? He ain't
Man, look like
consistent.
Urkel.
That's it. You got on glasses right now.
He shoot like Steve Urkel. Have you seen
like
the
Mr.
sign?
Payne.
I could
Look, and then on top of this, you can't sit here and you can't go left.
Meet the Paynes.
And then on top of that, was it TJ O'Connelly showed me also. If you ain't going right, you can't shoot left either.
did you
Curtis? He called you Curtis.
so I posted it in the chat. You guys
Meet
did
the Browns.
did you guys see the graphic?
Yeah, I seen the graphic.
The graphic where he only went right for like the first 4 games. There was I think it was the
That's
first.
what this man been saying
Yeah.
all series. Though.
Yeah.
He ain't been going
and,
right.
and then, but he did go right, he did go left.
He ain't go left, right.
He went left. What 2 times in the last game? Was it twice?
No. Last game he went left twice. He shot a 3-pointer
Yeah.
on the left side, and he shot that little funky ass floater.
I mean, it's either he
move
can't
on.
do it or he's just getting to his spots because he
But
doesn't
that's
shoot.
like
a lot.
everybody. Jalen Williams only goes left.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't shoot a whole
Why?
lot.
If OKC win, Jalen Williams better get the MVP.
no.
Nah, it's going to shame.
Why would Jalen Williams get in shape and giving you 30 every
Because
game?
Jalen had 3 games where he was the best player on the
Okay, so
Yeah.
court.
you saying
It's the politics of it.
Right.
Three,
Shake it in.
yeah, but
he had
three
games
of their
then,
4 wins, he was the best player on their team.
It's up for debate then.
here's the
And
question:
he had 49 that one game.
If
40
OKC
40.
win, if OKC
Yeah.
win, you saying Jalen wins. If the Pacers win, I think say
Pascal Siakam.
Exactly.
Siakam, yes, yeah.
Not Halliburton because he the one that's been
Or
carrying
TJ McConnell.
But what
I'm
if,
voting for TJ McConnell.
so what if Halliburton hit you with a 30, 15, 10 game and another game winner?
It doesn't matter because it's over the course of.
Yeah, I know.
If he
It'll be
actually-
3 game
if
winners.
he get a
Actually,
3,
shit.
like, if he-
Pascal
might.
ain't had no crazy stats.
No,
He
but
just been consistently
yeah,
good.
he been consistently the best player.
And
he might-
he didn't actually expose Caruso. Caruso been locking down everybody except Siakam. He's showing his levels to this shit.
and
Don't start
you
with
might be
that.
right.
That man over there.
That fade away
probably
around the free throw line that he do, that turnaround, he hit that every time.
Jokic
almost.
couldn't even get past Caruso.
Come on.
But Siakam can.
Crazy.
Halliburton might get it because he had bigger moments.
Yeah, we watch.
Shaq getting it though.
We watched
I
Caruso
appreciate
lock
it,
down
really,
Jokic. He locked down Julius Randle.
One game?
He locked down.
Randall locked himself down.
Nah, man, he locked these guys down, man.
Randall was high from
and
the
now
night
he
before.
now he coming and try to play
Stopped
against
joking for one
Siakam.
game, dog.
Bro, one game.
The game 7,
One game.
the biggest game of his career. That's
It
a
was
game
actually
7.
game 6, wasn't it?
Game 7, big dog, big dog.
game 7.
Game 7, man.
It was one game.
We'll move on to the next topic. Lakers sold for $10 billion. That's the 5th NBA team sold in the last 2 years. I really like this play. I'll probably, because just being a Laker fan for so long, I love this because there were players that we lost because we didn't want to pay the money. Alex Caruso is playing right now because we didn't want to pay him and Taylor Horton Tucker. Bless you. That won't be something that happens in the
Don't
future.
say Taylor Horton Tucker. He's just
That's
been a
crazy.
bum ever since.
Hey,
He's a bum.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's what happened was we chose Taylor Horton Tucker over Caruso.
That's
And
horrible mistake.
yeah,
Be real.
And then there were other players that we didn't go after or didn't get because we didn't go too further over the cap. You know, the Lakers have always been a family run business. What's also great, is great for the league because when one house sells for so much money, it raises everybody's value. And the Lakers doubled their value from $5 billion to $10 billion in 2 years. So it's been very much a lot of growth and whatnot. But I mean, this is the same guy who got Ohtani in LA. He got Mookie Betts to LA. He got Freddie Freeman to LA. Not only that, he is in business with Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is in his ownership group. So you might have Magic Johnson coming back to help out the Lakers in his rightful place.
Magic banking, bro.
But at this point,
I wouldn't let Magic come
who
back
wants
and
to go
help.
to LA?
Huh?
At this point, who wants to go to LA?
It's still
anybody
such.
that's-
But I kind of find it funny though because 2 weeks ago, I don't know if y'all seen Magic Johnson. He was on First Take
Yeah,
and he said it's time for me to get back into the NBA.
yeah.
Well, he
And then
quit
a
on him in
week
the middle of the night.
later, they go buy the Lakers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's kind of
I don't know for sure if Magic Johnson is involved in this group ownership group.
He's involved.
but
in that group.
okay, because that group is also the group that helped out Washington Commanders too.
So
yeah,
Magic,
yeah, he's involved in that group too.
Magic, he got
They own the Washington
NFL,
Commanders.
NBA, and man, I'm like, damn, like match you 3 sports, bro.
The best
You
part
banking.
is that Jeannie staying on as general manager
Your sugar mama.
Why?
How's that the best part? That's the worst part.
because she has the better relationship with the players, and
Man,
the Lakers
She
have
fucking
always
the player.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
the Lakers have always
LeBron-
had
better relationship with the players.
LeBron want to keep her around. Like, what the fuck?
Lakers are all about their superstars, and they're all about the relationship they have with their superstars.
I ain't gonna
So-
talk about your number one girl, your sugar mama. You might
No,
want to call
I mean,
her up.
you got to think if you're a player on that team and you've built relationship with the front office, the last thing you want is for somebody to come buy the team when like if you're LeBron or you're Luka. This is my first year with the team. They sell the team as a whole new front office, and I don't know who to trust. Right? Or this is my last year with the team. I'm trying to push for a championship, and they just shake up all the shit.
So we gonna bring leader. Right.
But also keep in mind this ownership.
Stall her out.
This ownership group has.
Stall her out.
He was a minority owner he had been a minority owner for over 5 years prior, and he owned a pretty large enough stake to where his voice has been around. So it's not like a big, huge shakeup anyway. But I mean, they still have Jeannie on as governor. It's just good
What
representation.
does governor do?
She the same exact thing she does right now. She just doesn't
running
own
the
it.
team.
Nothing.
She's running that. She's running everything.
So you ain't leaving it to Rob
No, we
Pelinka?
got a president of basketball operations
You ain't not leaving
Yeah,
it to
but-
Robert.
LeBron.
and a
those-
GM.
But the big decisions don't get made unless Jeannie signs off on it.
So
Jeannie gonna do whatever LeBron wants
right,
to do.
and they ain't gonna trust Rob Pelinka, but like, man, fuck you.
I mean,
much.
to a certain extent, Rob has done a really great job.
What drop?
What? You were
They
saying
won
Rob
one
Pelinka
championship.
couldn't put a roster together to compete against an AAU team earlier this year.
I didn't say that.
Oh my
I know I
God!
can rewind the tape.
No, what I said.
You were
What I
saying
said
the worst
was.
roster in the NBA,
Yeah, no, I
hear
said
it.
is
Let
that
me
it
hear
was
it.
poorly constructed, and it was.
and you were saying, how come he
Pelinka.
just can't bring us a center?
I didn't say that. I didn't blame Rob Pelinka as the bad guy in it. It's a victim of circumstance. I just knew that we had a bad roster. I would talk shit about the roster quite a bit, but I'd never pointed a finger at Rob Pelinka.
Run the tape back.
When the Lakers had a bad roster.
The Lakers had a bad roster, but at the beginning of this year,
How?
they didn't have. I'm trying to think of.
We beat this dead horse.
Last year was a terrible roster. Last year specifically was probably the worst because they didn't have any defense at all.
Darvin Ham.
They had
Had a
no.
horrible roster he coached with, huh?
Took him to the Western Conference Finals.
Wait, don't get him started on that.
That's crazy.
The roster was not
That's
the same year over
crazy.
year.
His
It
takes
wasn't
are
the same year as
360, ain't they?
Hey, don't get him started. He say JJ is better than Darvin.
This
Like,
man
that's
just
like-
said a
the
total
worst. He said
360.
it's the worst roster.
I said it was
but
poorly
Darvin
constructed.
Ham took him to the Western
The conference finals with that
It
roster.
wasn't the same roster. It was a lot of the same. It was a lot of the same.
A lot of
pieces.
the same people, but it wasn't the same roster.
No. But I
They had
think
a different year on it.
I think in both
2024,
years-
2023.
I think in both years they overachieved quite a bit.
Okay.
I don't think they were really that team, but
So this year they had a bad roster?
in the beginning of the year, yeah, and the ending of the year, it was a bad roster. Yeah.
So you mean tell me before y'all got Luka with Anthony Davis, that was a bad roster?
By the middle of the season, right before they made that trade, it was about as good as it was going to get, and then we blew the whole thing up.
They was in 4th place.
Yeah, but I understand. But like a lot of things that, like you made a good point about how certain things aren't sustainable in the playoffs. That roster wasn't sustainable in the playoffs, and we were one Anthony Davis blow to the ankle away from the season being over.
Y'all was one Bronny James spot from getting a big man.
Okay, well,
From getting a big man that could have saved the season.
here's a question.
We had roster spots open.
With them selling,
That's crazy.
Nah, we can't do this again.
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it was anyone's fault. I'm just saying
Oh,
that
it was somebody's fault.
I'm just
That's what we saying.
No, well, what I'm saying is that the roster was incomplete. It wasn't a complete roster. I guess so. It's not a bad roster. It's just an incomplete roster. We didn't have all the pieces that we needed in order to win.
Well, here's a question. So
I get
With
it. Incomplete.
the Lakers selling, what's going to possibly be the next NBA team you think that would sell? And then on top of that, do we think maybe in the next 2 years we're going to see an expansion team coming in?
I think the Bulls is going to be sold.
That's
I hope so.
I don't know what that is. Oh, that's my Google.
Nobody talking to you, bitch.
I would say the Bulls, but also
We need to sell them.
I hope so.
the sale of the team at such a high figure helps the expansion teams because it brings more value
Right.
to an expansion franchise And again,
But
that
the thing is, that means that you need more money to come in.
Right.
yeah,
So
there'll be more
that
money.
means
I'm sure.
Seattle need at least $5 billion to come in.
So
That's
what
the
I'm saying.
team I'm thinking.
We need Seattle
Yeah.
to come back, bro.
I'm thinking
Seattle
Seattle.
and Vegas.
That was my team.
Seattle and Vegas, just like the WNBA.
Yeah, because we know.
So if we get 2 out west, we need 2 out east.
It
That's
would
the
be,
way it go.
If 2 out west, they would push someone to the east.
I'd say 1-1.
Nah, they ain't pushing nobody.
Yeah, that's the only way to make it work.
They're gonna have to bring somebody on the east. What cities we got over there available? They think
Like-
about doing like a London team. Or
No,
something.
like Minnesota would go to
That's
the
why
east.
I was just finna say that because Minnesota
Yeah.
is the closest.
Yeah, so Minnesota would go to the east. That would make even number between east and west teams if they add 2 west teams. And then Minnesota would just go over because it makes more sense for Minnesota to just be over there. And then instead of having 4 divisions, you split it up into 3.
But they usually just squeeze the East team out their ass. Like they went with the Grizzlies and the Raptors. They went
Yeah.
with Miami and.
But
like,
if you're doing that,
Charlotte
then
or some
you would
shit.
you would have to start. You would have to open a team in the east and then open.
That's
a
what
team
I'm
in-
saying. They got to open a team in the East as well.
Oh, I don't think there's a team
No,
in the
well,
east
you know
that needs
what?
a,
Washington
Hey,
D.C.
another team.
The owner,
Who they got?
The Washington Wizards.
Wizards.
Hey, the
That's
commissioner.
that's not a team.
Right. The commissioner did
What is
say
that?
he was talking about going back
They
to
need a real
Vancouver,
team.
though.
That's the Bullets.
The Bullets.
Actually, they were trying to send Washington to Philadelphia.
No.
What about Baltimore?
Where'd you say
know
you
what
were sending to?
Or
The commissioner did say he was thinking about putting a team back in Vancouver.
That would be terrible.
But that's on the west.
Yeah, but it's going. What we thinking about? It's going to have to be something in the East Virginia.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that a team is going to get pushed in the east
said
because there's so many teams that play in the west that are actually on the east. Like Memphis could go and play in the east.
Yeah, but that's too much for them to do because they have their whole schedule and everything is planned on traveling. You know what I'm saying? I never seen them do that. I ain't saying that they won't. I just
It would
never
probably be
seen them do
easier.
that.
It'd probably make the scheduling easier if they're already over there because you got to think, or like Minnesota, for instance. If you look at Minnesota and the teams that they play, they got to come all this way to the west.
Yeah.
Like it just makes sense for them to just stay over there and it'd be easier on the schedule. And then you just open up 2 West teams.
And we only say in Vegas just because we know LeBron want to own the team and we know LeBron trying to get out in Vegas.
I think it's because of the gambling. They saw what the NFL did. All the gambling.
LeBron desperately trying to own the NBA team. And he pushing for Vegas, bro.
I don't think they're just going to
I
open a
think the
team.
only
They're
reason.
not gonna let
I think
him
the
in.
only
Not too
reason.
soon.
I don't think
The
he
only
could
reason
do it.
why Vegas worked was because they was the Raiders. If they brought a whole new team to Vegas, that team wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, that'd be kind of hard, right?
But an NBA team would work in Vegas. You got to think they already play it's where they train for the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already there. They already have a basketball presence.
yeah.
It makes
That don't
sense.
mean they have a
they
fan
do
base.
they do a summer league too.
Yeah,
That don't mean they have a fan base.
See, Vegas is full of people from all over the
Right.
world. It's
It's the mixed.
yeah, it's just a mix back to people. So,
It wouldn't be die hard Vegas. I mean,
but the thing
Nah, but
is,
they would get the
w-
fans.
yeah,
'cause
see,
people would travel to
Yeah,
Vegas
yeah,
to see.
no, they won't
they
travel to
teams
see
play.
it. But once you get to Vegas, it's gonna be so many
Tourists.
It's gonna be so. What are those people called? Timeshare people that's giving you free tickets soon as you step off. Hey, you want to go see the damn basketball game today?
Well, you got to think
Then
also.
you gonna go.
Vegas did have an expansion team, the Vegas Golden Knights, and they're one of the most popular teams in the NHL.
Oh, yeah. And then I forgot.
The
is it-
Vegas Aces too.
It's the
Yeah.
the Oakland A's is still trying to move to Vegas, right?
They already.
They
moving.
already have. Yeah.
That I'm saying. So you got baseball out
You
there.
got baseball, you got football, you got women's basketball, you got everything.
NBA basketball team is gonna be the last thing
Yeah.
that's gonna be out
But how
there.
how
They
popular?
better change one of the teams.
So
that's
how
already got a
popular
fan
are the
base.
UNLV Rebels? And their campus is right on this,
Man.
right at the end of the strip. They like right there.
They ain't been popular since the early '90s.
But
bro.
Grandmama.
their campus is popular for NBA play. I mean, for to watch games there.
That's where they play on the UNLV campus.
Where they do the Olympics and stuff.
Okay, because they do summer league there too.
Yep.
I thought they were doing it at T-Mobile Arena.
Yeah. Let's see how everything work out, man. I mean, you never know. Like I say,
I honestly don't see a push for it or the need for it. But like I said, if they moved a team that's struggling to Vegas, like they did when they moved Seattle because they wouldn't pay for the stadium, and that's how the OKC got their team. I can see that happening.
okay, well, you talking about teams being so how do you think that A-Rod is gonna do over there in Minnesota being the owner? I don't think he knows shit about basketball, bro.
They've already been. It seems like they've already been involved in things, and they've been sitting on the sideline, for the whole entire season.
I think y'all giving the owners too much credit.
I got one more.
Sometimes those are just investments. He don't got to be the basketball guy. He ain't got to be the one making any type of basketball decisions.
He do got somebody else around him with that because it's a group. So
I was gonna say
because I own a soccer team and I wouldn't know shit about it.
Yeah,
but I know I made some money off on them soccer teams.
What'd you say, Bud?
Y'all think it's weird that all these major teams are selling?
No. They getting that old money out, bro. And
It's
getting
a lot
some
of
that
old
new
money.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm surprised the Bears ain't
It's
sold.
the time. It's the time to get out because it's going in a different direction, different requirements and things like that. And there's just a lot of old heads that need to just move on.
Yeah.
If we can get the Bulls to sell,
Championship. That's what would happen. Championship.
who said that?
You think
I'm about to play a clip.
think
It was
like,
perfect, wasn't
you
it?
think Ryan Dorff is gonna let him sell because his son is the one that got the team right now as owning it. So
Well, his son don't know shit about basketball.
Shit, nothing.
You ready? Ready for this clip?
yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I won 6 championships. Bill Russell won 11. Does that make Bill Russell better than me and make me better than him? No, because we play at different eras. So when you try to equate who's the greatest of all time, it's an unfair parallel. It's an unfair choice. I won 6 championships.
It's funny, I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything. You sit here and tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, are fucking wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or one, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
Right.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time. Or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things. It's funny, I don't know.
All right. So you heard from both
Hold on,
both your
hold on.
goats.
He got a
let me
little
start-
bit more.
let me
He said, and
That-
you can't say
I wanna
that
go
Hank
first.
Aaron. Bay Area Bonds
You
is
go
not the
first. Yeah,
best
that's cool.
baseball
You go
player.
first, Jay.
I just want to start this conversation with that was some total bullshit. They talk about that in other sports. They definitely talk about that in other sports. Lamar Jackson is probably the best quarterback in the league, and we always say he's not with Patrick Mahomes because he doesn't have championships.
And he said he was the greatest of all time.
Tom Brady,
LeBron had said this shit before.
and his levels and stuff, and that guy knows that too. The only reason he's bringing this up, see, he creates too many there. The only reason he's bringing it up because he's really talking about Michael Jordan, but he can't say.
But he was
that.
asked a question.
He set the show up.
Yeah, he's a producer.
Come on,
of the
man, he's
show.
the producer of the show. Nothing he said made sense because they talk about it in other sports. That's number one.
What Jordan said it's a very similar thing.
It's levels
No, he
to
didn't.
it. No, he
Jordan-
didn't. Jordan was.
Jordan was
just
being
said the
humble and
totally-
said the truth.
Jordan
He
was-
retracted what
Hold
he's
on, hold
already
on.
said
Let
in the
Jay
public
Bud
before.
get it out real quick.
Secondly, it's levels to everything, right? Because he's trying to say, oh, Allen Iverson. Yeah, some people not in some people's category. That's facts. So to bring that up, it just let me know you're trying to create narratives and get people to believe that you're better than Michael Jordan without saying that. Bruh, y'all both the 2 greatest. So we got to have some type of distinction to determine who is great. That's when championships matter. Do that make sense?
Yeah.
That's a factor in anything you do.
Yeah. For me,
And if it's fucked up for the NBA because Michael Jordan went 6-0.
yeah.
In other sports, you're not. Tom Brady won 7 and he's still the GOAT, but he lost what? 3, 4. But that
But winning 7
Yeah,
is
see, for me-
crazy.
winning
for
7 in the NFL is definitely
for me.
crazy.
That was the biggest crap of bullshit.
Yeah, that was
too.
the biggest crap of bullshit.
because ever since he's been in the league, he's been chasing rings. Everything that he's done in his career symbolized I'm trying to
Get rings.
get
More rings.
rings, not have statistics or things like that. It was like, oh, I went to Miami because the people that I have around me now they can't win. Then he said, I'm gonna win 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rings. And then after he won in Cleveland, he's the one said that I'm the greatest of all time. So I'm glad that you played that Michael Jordan clip, because that's the difference between someone who is considered the GOAT by all the
his
players,
peers,
his peers, and someone who's considered the GOAT by media. So
And children.
You guys don't remember when Kobe went on I think it was Conan or one of the late night shows, and they asked him to rank himself, Bron and Jordan, and he said me, Mike, Bron.
You're supposed to say you the best.
I remember
He
he
ranked
said
himself.
that. But do you remember the whole thing? You're just talking about that little snippet where he was like,
No. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do
But
it.
his whole conversation was saying that you can't do that. You can't rank
Right.
them. But then he was
Right.
like, I do it after they pressured him
Yeah.
to do something. So you can't just take
what
that
athlete
little.
not-
But who gonna not say I'm the
snippet.
best?
Who's gonna say that I'm not the best of all time?
No.
No,
No.
saying
Saying you're the
not
best
great-
and the
saying-
best of all time is
saying
two different things.
yeah.
Right.
I'm okay with them.
Right. But you
I
can't-
will agree with you guys that that there are levels. I agree. There are
And
completely different levels to it. But I think that when you get to a level of LeBron and Jordan and Kobe and Kareem and Wilt, once you're on that tier, then there are some things that can differentiate.
Yes.
And I believe I wouldn't say championships is the end all be all when it comes to that, because I'm not gonna. I
Between
believe
him and
that.
Jordan.
You
I
think
believe
minutes played.
Between him and Jordan, it would be.
I believe that Wilt Chamberlain was a better player than Bill Russell, but Bill Russell has 11
No,
chips
no,
and
So you're talking
Wilt
about-
has 2.
so you're
So
talking
I'm
about
saying
them
that
two.
I'm saying that.
But you can't say that, because if Wilt had the championship grit that Bill Russell had, he would have had more championships. Everybody said that Wilt was too nice of a player and didn't care as much as Bill Russell.
But everybody
that's the
says-
reason why Wilt don't have that much rings.
Yeah, but still,
He didn't have a
he's
killer
still
instinct.
regarded as one of the greatest to ever play over Bill Russell.
Because
of his ability.
Because his ability. So that's just like how we put people in Allen Iverson and people like that in the conversation because of their ability. So for him to come out and act like fans totally dismiss these people is totally
crazy.
Bullshit.
It's totally
No, I'm not
irate.
saying that.
No,
I'm
he
just
tried to
and for
act like
him,
we
yeah.
dismissing Steve. First of all, Steve
Yeah.
Nash ain't that great, but Steve Nash.
Yeah, nobody's dismissing him.
Nobody I hate
and
Bron
you
fans
can't
'cause they say
compare baseball players to basketball players.
No,
you can't,
I
you can't
agree.
do that at all. With a baseball player like Barry Bonds, yeah, you can be the best baseball player that we ever seen, but all we gotta do is walk you every time, and you can't affect winning.
Right.
No, I
So
agree
why
with
would
what
he
you're saying.
throw that out there? So that's just creating a narrative, like he always do, and everybody from Clutch Sports do. They create these narratives
that's another thing I was gonna say.
to try to make it seem like, oh, Jordan is not the best, but
Well,
nobody even care about LeBron
Right.
being the best. He's not even number 2 anymore.
I don't think that is.
Listen, and I don't like the narrative he tried to paint too, because
Well, he worked for Clutch Sports too.
Nobody diminishes LeBron being great.
Mm-hmm.
But he always try to act like that. People only argue when you're talking about the GOAT of everything, and the only other person in that category is Michael Jordan.
I just don't think that the championships is the end all be all. I think
it is.
I think
It is.
I think
It
it
is.
matters,
I'ma tell
but
you
I
why.
don't think it's the end all
It's the,
be all.
it's the,
not
it's
the
the,
cha-
no,
well-
it's the end all be all. When he went to Miami, his intention when he built that team was to win 6 or 7 championships to be better. It just didn't pan out.
What
for him.
player doesn't want to win
no, no,
But
no,
the
no,
championship
listen.
is not
His
the
own man
it's not
told him-
it's not everything.
Look, Maverick-
because you have like a Robert Ory who has multiple championships.
That's what I'm saying.
It's what you did to get those championships.
Right.
Let's say LeBron James won 3 more championships right now.
As
He
the fourth best player on
That's
the
what I'm
team.
saying. He still wouldn't be considered better than Jordan because he didn't win those championships as the best player on the team.
But we don't put Robert Ory and LeBron James. Not
That's
in the
what
same
I'm saying.
category.
So it's not all about the
it's not- no,
championships.
you being great is not based on championships.
It's
But
not.
being the GOAT, it's about championships
I
because
think
you're
it's
the GOAT.
I think it's a factor. I don't think it's everything. I did post in the group chat. There was a point system that someone threw in the chat GPT, and I'll give you just a rundown. MVP was 30 points. Finals MVP was 20. Getting a ring was 10. Defensive player of the year was 7.
That's garbage
let me
right
stop,
there
let me
because
stop.
they
Let me stop.
diminished the ring to just 10 points.
No, let me say
So that's
something else.
already trying to be in favor
What do
of
you, what do you
LeBron.
think? What do you think the ring,
The ring should be higher than
ring should
any of
be
them.
higher. That's
Because
the
that's what you
ultimate.
play for.
Right,
That's
it
the
should be
ultimate.
higher than all of them.
Hold on. Let me say something before I miss this point.
What do you mean?
LeBron James.
So that whole little thing is
no,
like,
because LeBron James
AI.
said something else.
This
He
is doing
said
stupid
that
shit.
it's a team sport, right?
yeah.
Do y'all realize it's an MVP? And do you realize he wants to get that MVP? So stop with all that shit. It's a team championship.
That's
Then
just
don't try to get the MVP. Give the MVP to the whole team.
that's just him saying my
The
team
narrative.
wasn't good enough to win these
the
times.
narrative. He always.
I'll
creates
finish.
these
He's the
I'll
garbage-
finish
Aaron
this out
Rodgers
real
of the
quick.
NBA.
I'll finish this out real quick.
Nah, he ain't. He's not that.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Always blaming somebody else.
No,
For
but
real.
no, all right, on that point, but I thought you were talking about championships. I would say Aaron Rodgers got one. He only got one, and he ain't had one in 12 years.
If
I
they
thought
only
you were
wait
talking
in
about the
championships 10 points, I mean,
That's crazy.
and that's the ultimate goal.
right, like, come
Shaq
on.
GP for
I like to say,
legit.
I just don't get it. He creating this narrative. You left Cleveland to go to Miami, then you went from Miami back to Cleveland, then you left Cleveland to go to damn
In
LA.
Cleveland,
And then every time when you went to Cleveland, what you say? Go give me Kevin Love. When you went to LA, go sit here and give me Anthony Davis.
But
He's creating this team, bro.
but the Cleveland
What,
Cavaliers.
can I ask you a
To
question?
win championships.
Why is it
Cavaliers-
okay for front offices to create a team, but it's not okay for the players?
LeBron
Nobody-
created the team.
nobody-
He said, go get me
because
Kevin
he-
Love.
I'm not
Why-
mad about that.
Why is it okay for front offices to construct and
All right, let's-
deconstruct
it's
teams?
not-
Let me explain.
But it's
It's
not
their
okay.
team.
It's
Let me
not a
explain.
problem for him to
It's
do
not
it.
explain for him to do it. Nobody cares. This
It's
is what
their
LeBron,
team.
this is what LeBron always do. Nobody. I'm happy that LeBron creates his own team. You should be able to. You one of the greatest.
Right.
Nobody's mad about his son that he tries to act like we mad because LeBron
No.
create all this foolish talk because he say crazy stuff that makes no sense.
Right.
And I heard it. And he went back to Cleveland for what reason? To win a championship.
Right.
What's
And
wrong with
play
that?
with-
No, I'm
And-
saying no. But
Kyrie-
he said it's a team sport.
Right.
And championships don't matter. But your whole point for your legacy was so you could say LeBron James brought a championship to Cleveland.
It's
So
kinda-
then his
let
point
me
makes
let
no
me let me
sense.
give y'all a different perspective of it. So, Tom Brady, he has 7 rings, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people's eyes, Tom Brady's not the GOAT because Tom Brady never really was the number 1 quarterback in any of those leagues, in either of those seasons,
How-
statistically.
so Tom Brady to go.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then a lot of times, and during the championships, Tom Brady wasn't the reason why they was winning those games.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So he don't have 7 he don't have 7 Super Bowl MVPs.
He
So
doesn't
so
need
that's
that.
why people was hanging on the coattail of the Lamar Jackson and the Patrick Mahomes because they're saying that they're actually putting up numbers. They're the reason why their teams are winning, and they can win a ring. So let's say Pat Mahomes win 2 more rings. He can already be in the GOAT conversation
True. They said if he
because
three-peated,
the way he's impacting the game, he don't need to have as many championships as him.
all right, that's what I'm saying. LeBron's statement was just crazy because it really is tears. So some of these players you're talking about, they're not going to be in that conversation
Because they don't impact the
you don't
game
impact
like
the
that.
game like that.
That's all. So it's just about impacting
I
the
agree.
game, not
I
about
agree with
how
you
many
that there
rings you have.
I agree with that. There's levels to
It
it. I just think
matters.
that when you're talking about the greatest of all time, rings matter, but they don't matter. They're not the end all be
So
all.
what else matter if you're the greatest of all time?
Individual accolades like finals MVPs, like, and I'm not talking about LeBron. And this is not like a
No,
case for him,
I just like what-
but like defensive player of the years, those things matter. All time set records
got-
matter.
So
Yeah.
against Jordan,
Where you end up all time, and longevity matters.
Okay, so two of
those things matter.
2 of those things
Alright,
you
so the
said.
only thing
the
he
only
beat-
thing that
You got
your
is
guy is
longevity.
winning is longevity. So
against
you,
Jordan.
No,
that's,
I'm not.
That's
I'm
the
not,
Cal Ripken Award.
I don't think
So you said Finals MVP.
It's not a
you said
particular-
Defensive
Cal
Player of the
Ripken
Years.
I don't
Those
think
are
it's-
Michael Jordan accolades.
I don't think it's a participation trophy when you're averaging the same as what you're averaging as the MVP.
But if
Your
it's
MVP
not
numbers,
but if it's not
were
impacting winning,
20
the
years
league,
through.
the league has changed where we showed you 27-7-7 doesn't impact winning anymore.
Well, the thing is that if you take LeBron off that team and substitute him for another superstar, the Lakers don't get that far. So it does impact.
Wait, they don't
No,
lose in
no.
the first round?
Well,
Yeah, they would.
only one team can win the championship. I'm not.
They would get.
I'm not
you
talking
said they
about.
wouldn't get that far.
I'm not talking
When
about.
you say that,
They would lose in the first round.
I'm not talking about.
My argument to LeBron.
That's
fans,
it's circumstantial, and I'm not.
LeBron leaving teams. Y'all act like he left the team, and they kept that team constructed the same way it was. Like the Bulls, y'all don't
They
realize.
did. They had Kevin Love.
No, they
Cleveland
did.
kept Kevin Love.
They
Yeah,
kept
they
Kevin
did.
Love, but a lot of
They
other
kept a lot
players
of
left.
people.
No.
Kyrie stayed.
Kyrie wasn't there. He left before they even
yeah,
went. He went to Boston and they went to the
traded him for
championship.
Isaiah Thomas.
They didn't
Right,
have
yeah.
the same exact team. So
When
the
people
Bull-
harp on that, a lot of
Bull-
folks are
no.
harping on that first Cavaliers
the
team.
The Bulls also. Do y'all realize when they lost Jordan, they had the exact same team and the exact same coach.
And
Chemistry
they almost
matters.
went back to the finals.
They had just won a championship and I have the exact same team. We didn't trade nobody. We didn't lose nobody. That Cleveland team, when he left to go to LA, was not the same exact team that went to the finals.
No.
The first time they tanked, you get what I'm saying?
They got two
And y'all got to
number
stop
one draft
discrediting.
picks.
Well, I don't-
when he left Miami, they wasn't sorry. They went back to the playoffs and Chris Bosh
Yeah,
happened to
that's
get
true.
blood clots and can't play again.
When people talk about
true.
teams ending up lottery teams, they're not talking about the second Cavaliers team, because that was just more of like a personal decision for LeBron. It wasn't really like I need to get up out of here. Well, I mean, they did exhaust all of their resources trying to build him a team. But a lot of times when people talk about that, they're talking about that first Cavaliers team where it was Bron, Mo Williams, Antoine Jameson, Vera Zhao, Anthony Parker, Delonte West, Shaq, J.J. Hickson. The next year, they went from
You named a few All-Stars on there.
yeah. That was what on that last Cavaliers team.
So what was
You
they
just
team the
named a
next
few
year? What was
All-Stars.
they team the next year?
Baron Davis, Samai Erd. Oh wait, hold on. Let me.
You don't have none of those same players.
Hold on one second.
And they probably had a
Oh
different
no,
coach.
Antoine Jameson, Anderson Varejao, Mo Williams, Anthony Parker, J.J. Hickson, Daniel Gibson, Ramon Sessions, Baron Davis. Those are all the same players.
And Ilgauskas.
Did they have the
he
same-
wasn't on
did
this
They have
team.
the same coach.
Did they have the same coach?
Mike Wood. What's his name?
That plays a lot.
Nah,
into
what's his name?
everything.
It went from Mike Brown to
Mike
Byron
Brown,
Scott.
yeah.
Right. And then after Byron Scott,
I'm
they
just
went
saying,
to,
y'all act like it was.
It was the same. It was the same team.
David.
You got
Black.
You put a different coach there too.
It was the same team.
That's some
They went
bullshit.
they went from 61 wins to 19, and they add LeBron replay. That's what people are talking about. And that's just a fact. I just named off 8 of the same
so
players.
you think that team should have been back in the in
No, I'm
So then
saying
what we
that
talking about?
I'm saying that with LeBron, he impacted winning.
Okay, I give you that.
To
He
that,
impacted
that was
winning for that team.
when people harp on that, that's what they're talking
But
about.
I've heard people say that about every team that he's left.
So he impact winning that much. How many wins did he impact the next season going to Miami?
Let me see.
They probably won 20 more games, though.
But they already
They
had.
started
they
off
got bossed,
11-11.
But
I
they
remember.
But you gotta imagine
they
also-
ended up winning
Yeah.
50
You
something.
got to imagine
That's
also
it,
they were.
though. They won 50-some games the year before.
Miami wasn't. We're talking about the 2009 Miami team.
They went to the playoffs, didn't they? D Wade averaged 30 that
30.
year.
They finished third in their division. They were 47-35. And then the next year when they got LeBron, they were 58-24. They were first in their division.
11 games.
And they got LeBron and
But
Bosh.
also keep in mind they were
11
They were only
games.
3 years removed from winning a championship.
What does that mean, man? We just talking about he only impacted the win in 11 games.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers prior to LeBron were a lottery team. With LeBron, they were a championship team, and then they went back
immediately.
and then they went.
didn't immediately jump into that. He didn't even go to the playoffs.
They wasn't a lottery team. They had 3 All-Stars on the team. Jameson.
He said before.
William,
He said
without
before-
LeBron.
No, he's saying
before LeBron got there.
No, he's
Mo
saying-
Williams
No, they ain't. Mo Williams
Ilgauskas.
wasn't there before LeBron. You talking about when he went back?
on Cleveland. Mo Williams was there before LeBron got there.
What year did LeBron?
Mo Williams was on Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
His rookie year, he didn't even go to the playoffs. So what are we talking about?
No, I'm talking about the year before LeBron. They were a lottery team.
They had Ilgauskas.
They had 29 wins that year.
What, the year before they
The
drafted?
year
LeBron?
before they drafted him, they were a lottery
I
team.
think they won 19. I thought they won like 19.
29 games.
So 29 games, that's supposed to get you the number 1 pick? No.
Oh wait, no, I lied. I lied.
They won
The year
19.
before they won 17 games.
Yeah, I won that 19
About to
or
say
17.
29
And then-
games don't supposed to get you the number one pick.
I was about to say they
And
won
then the
19.
next year 35, next year
They didn't make
42,
they didn't
next
make
year
the playoff.
50.
He didn't start winning
but
until
what I'm
4
saying
years
is
in.
what I'm saying is like a team that just went to the finals
Jordan
and
went to the
won
playoffs every year.
3 years later, they're not gonna their fall off isn't supposed to be that huge.
Wait, why? Miami, you talking about?
Yeah, Miami.
No, do you realize what happened? D Wade ain't played 2 of them years.
Right.
Yeah, no.
One of them years he didn't play. Shaq gone.
They gave up their whole team.
team.
They fell off the
What
next
are we
year.
talking- They went to the playoffs.
That's
Got
right
swept
around
by the
that
Bulls.
time.
They fell off the next year.
Yeah, so my
what I'm
argument is saying is that the disparity, like LeBron isn't gonna make them win 100 games the next season.
I'm not.
But 11?
I mean,
But it don't matter.
wasn't.
They
I don't
went to
think it
the
was 11.
finals, but I don't think it was all because of him. The team was just a good team. You
Was
got Chris Bosh.
one?
What are we talking about here?
Wait, one Lamar Odom and that championship team when
No,
man
Lamar
he
Odom.
won none.
Lamar Odom ain't got
They
no
traded him
championship.
before
They traded
that, right?
him for Shaq.
They traded him for
Yeah,
Shaq.
okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
All right, that's a good one.
yeah, I mean, 58 games, you really can't win too much more than 58.
Yeah, you can't. You can win 72 or 73. That's the record.
Come on now.
That's the record.
What do you mean?
With that team, with that
That-
team, with that
What do you
team,
mean?
like,
Come on now. With
when
that
got
team,
when
they should have
got
won
that-
80
when they
games.
got-
I don't think if
When
you're
they got
I don't
that
think
three-
any team adding 2 superstars is going to win over 60 games in a season.
hey,
Golden State won.
Golden State
Adding 2 superstars.
Golden State.
What?
did.
You don't have to add them, and you
So,
can win
so let's
73.
let's be honest.
I'm not saying
Let's
that.
be
Clown
honest.
talk.
At that time, when Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James got together,
High expectations. We thought they were going to
nobody-
win.
Yes, we all
Yes.
thought they should have won.
Yes, they should.
Some
Probably should
commentators,
have.
some commentators said that they probably won't lose a game.
Game, yeah.
Right, but
What are we talking
realistically speaking,
Realistically,
it
they
just
were the
doesn't
best.
happen.
That's
that way.
underachieving. 58
about?
wins.
And Boston did.
Everybody
They won
said
67 games the first year.
that. Everybody said
Look
58
up-
games
look
was
up- look up-
underachieving.
They won 67 games.
what year was it? 2007?
2007, 2018. Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett.
2007,
They won
2008.
The
Six-
Bulls
they won
first
67
the,
or
the,
65
The Bulls
games.
first time putting the big three together with Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, they was 72 and 10.
They won 60.
72.
I know you're right. Boston won 66.
Yeah,
And the
they
Bulls
won
went
60.
But it just doesn't
72
happen.
and 10.
It doesn't happen all
But
that often.
who putting 3 people together though?
I mean, it
When
really
happens-
doesn't happen
when
that
it
often.
happens, that team
And they did
always-
it, and they did it like no other team did it
And,
because
hey,
they
you
took
gotta-
3 merging superstars
Stars,
in their
yes.
prime.
With a
Nobody's
great-
ever
and
done
they had,
that,
They had an amazing bench. Y'all forget
Yeah.
right?
my man.
Just say he is an underachiever.
I don't know. I just
And then
I wanna say they had
Mario
Jason
Chalmers-
Williams.
Chalmers
Some-
wasn't
sometimes
sorry.
Didn't they have white chocolate?
sometimes there's addition by subtraction, and sometimes like all that addition does not help all the time. Like
Hence
for instance,
the 2004 Lakers.
Just say
Bro,
it's
we
an
make it- we make
Yeah,
it- we
yeah,
make- we
I-
make- we put-
But they was the end of
how
their
many-
career,
how many-
though.
how many times?
Still.
Carl Malone and Gary Payton.
All
they
right,
was done.
and I'll
Don't give
give,
him
I'll
no
give,
ammo.
I'll
Yeah,
give
they
the
was.
big,
One mic.
I'll give
Go
the
ahead,
big
bud.
3 credit. Y'all just got together. Matter of fact, they were really good because they started off slow and then end up winning like a 25, 26 game stretch.
That's what I'm saying. I
So
don't
then,
think-
it was possible, and you lose the championship,
And then we beat 'em.
Make the excuse for them losing to Dallas.
I don't think there was. I just don't think that when a team makes huge moves like that, they don't generally win. Like I think of the first Paul Gasol year. I think of the first
We went to-
Anthony
they went to
Davis
the
year.
finals.
They went to the finals, but they didn't win. It's the same exact thing as what
Listen,
Miami
they
did.
got to the
Listen, wait.
finals,
Let's
though.
explain.
Yeah, Miami got to the finals their first year together.
Hold on. What you said earlier, when Kobe got to the finals in Boston, no Bynum and no Trevor Ariza.
Yeah.
That is a totally different series with them niggas.
I just whenever you make a
Miami
major, whenever
didn't
you
lose
make major
nobody.
moves like that, I don't think that always equates into
It definitely
championships.
equates to something
So,
great. It
so I
definitely
like
equates to
that
something
you
great.
said that because
They went to the finals.
the moves that they made were actually great moves because it showed that in the finals LeBron James was the 3rd best player on the team.
At that point, sure, yeah.
Matter of
So you're really not impacting nothing on the team.
When
Bosh
they
impacted those 11 wins.
And then the next year, they said that we're running everything through Bron, and then they won 2 chips.
Okay, so that first
We're
year they
running
got
everything
together.
into
when
And
they
one of
started.
them, Chris Bosh saved. They were celebrating the
He
championship
saved
on the
them.
sideline
And Ray
when
Allen.
Bosh knocked that ball out of Allen. Bron has nothing to do with that shit.
Nothing.
No, I mean, there's going to be plays where certain players have nothing to like.
Well, no, that
Ar-
series
yeah.
was over.
Yeah,
your
no,
point-
Ron
That
Artest.
game was
Ron
over.
Artest saved Kobe Bryant in the
Why do you
finals
say that?
How?
when he hit that shot.
He passed it to him.
You know what?
What do you
Matter
mean
of
he
fact-
saved
Yeah,
him?
but he's got to hit the shot.
No, a save is totally
when
different.
Chris Bosh gets an offensive rebound,
He's gotta
and
hit
throw
the
it out
shot.
in the last
Hey,
second
look,
shot.
there's- and think about
Derek, Robert Ory saved the Lakers.
You ever said,
Yeah,
but
that's
hey,
true.
Think
Yeah.
about
Those
how they
things
won.
happen.
That's true.
Think about how they
But
won.
would the
against San
Lakers have
Antonio.
lost the series if he missed that shot?
That
Was that
was
game
a sack.
7?
That was a sack. That was the Sacramento season.
Oh yeah, no, the refs did that.
Right.
I have a question because
But he saved that game. But
because
If they would have lost that game, though,
I want to make your point.
I think they would have lost the series. If they
Your
would've lost
point
that game.
is that when you change all these teams, that it doesn't equate to winning. That was your point.
No, my point was that when the major trade or major moves are made, that doesn't automatically equate into championships.
Okay. Would you consider besides when Barkley and all them was in Houston, you realize all the teams that were put together, they at least made the finals? Yeah. That is great.
Barkley didn't.
It worked right away. That's what I said.
Barkley made the finals
Besides the Houston,
one
and
time
they
in
went,
his career.
and they went to the Western Conference Finals and lost on the shot from John Stockton.
I'm thinking of
So if you
old
get to the
superstars
finals-
moving to super. Like I don't know.
So I'm just saying when these teams were constructed, they
and
went
that
to
was
the
a game
finals.
7. I want to say.
Yeah.
You really can't compare that situation to no other because those was 3 emerging superstars at the time.
You talking about people in their prime?
Yeah,
But he's saying,
And
I get what
they
you
did
said.
go to the
And
finals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you get to the finals, that's what you did it for. You just didn't win.
That's what they did. The Miami Heat went to the
That's what I
finals and they
said.
just didn't win.
Yeah.
it was an unsuccessful
Season.
underachievement
The
season.
only thing I'm saying
They
is
was a fail- it was a
they
failure.
underachieved the whole time in Miami.
that
It was a
first,
failure.
like I said, that first
They
year
did.
they
It
went
was a failure.
right.
He got his
One mic,
It was
Corey.
a failure.
Go ahead.
Who was the coach when they first started off? Who's the damn coach?
Of where?
Miami, when that first season, when they first started off, who was the coach?
Eric Spoelstra, I believe.
No,
I don't
no.
know. I don't remember.
They bought Eric Spoelstra in, like, I think after they went 11,
Oh, they had
11.
somebody and Pat Riley
Right.
took over.
Van Gundy.
And Pat Riley took over, but
No,
then,
that was Miami. That was
Yeah, I'm
Shaq
talking
then.
about in Miami.
No, that was
Now, Spoelstra was there when Brian got there.
Spoelstra was there because you talking about the D Wade.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
yeah,
D-Wade.
yeah, yeah,
That was
But
before.
also think about this: the only reason why they beat San Antonio in that when Ray Allen got that is because fucking David Robinson was not in the game. That was the mistake Popovich made,
Duncan.
and he took
Tim
Duncan
Duncan.
out. If he would have never took Tim Duncan out, Bosh would have got that rebound and was able to kick it out. So
And
I mean,
let's-
everything you saying, bro.
Let's be clear.
I mean,
man.
Let's be clear.
but
Getting
that's
Ray
what
Allen-
happened, and it happened, and you can't change history, so it happened.
LeBron
that way.
underachieved in Miami.
I mean, you could say there's plenty of times you can go in the finals and say, well, if this happened, then they
I
would
get
have
all
won.
that.
But there's nobody's ever said out of Mike's 6 that if this player didn't do this, he wouldn't have got his ring.
Because he never even took it to a game 7 to even have his back on the line like that.
Mike was taking over.
Again, and I'll say it until my face turns blue. I don't think that he faced the same level of competition.
But he faced
only got
more
faced-
Hall of Fame
you
players
only-
in his era
You
than
only
he
got-
did.
All right, that's
Not in the finals.
This is a
Yeah,
that's
he
a
did.
stupid.
How do you got to get to the
Now
finals?
listen,
I went
played
through
with-
him last week.
So in 10 years,
I went through him last week. LeBron has faced more Hall of Famers in the finals than Jordan has.
This why Jordan,
by far.
This why Jordan
Almost
go.
double.
This why
That's
Jordan-
because he
What
went
about
to double
getting-
the finals.
What about
your-
getting there?
with your logic.
Yeah, he's gotten there more than Jordan too.
No, I'm talking about all the Hall of Famers Jordan had to beat to get to the finals.
that
That
I
he
haven't
kept-
looked
that he
up, so
kept-
I can't.
that he
speak on
kept
it.
from getting a
That I
ring.
can't speak of, but also
Everybody's getting a ring in Bron era.
I mean,
If you good, you can get a ring.
Jordan couldn't get a ring the entire '80s, and he played the entire '80s.
They had to put a team around him.
I had a
bro.
question.
Go ahead.
So
Bron
that's why
said-
this y'all make this a stupid debate.
I said I was so
Yeah,
done
I'm
with this.
done with this.
I said I was
Look,
done with
look,
this.
it's just so draining.
Bron ain't even gonna be the GOAT because it's gonna be better players then.
Right.
So we gonna use
what I'm
this same
saying.
argument.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be better players.
Do you know why
Always.
Jordan-
There's
you know-
always a bigger fish.
Listen, do you know why Jordan is the GOAT? You want to really know why? Because we're still talking about this motherfucker, and it's 40 years later.
We'll have to wait and see how it
still
plays out.
rocking-
But
you're still
I
rocking
stand
this
my
damn
grounds.
sneaker.
I think
Still
it'll.
rocking the J's.
I
Them
know.
ain't
I
never going
think
nowhere.
it'll.
And for me, it's just the one thing. When Jordan won, when he started to win, nobody was winning. He would have won 8 in a row if he didn't retire, and everybody knows that. So that's why for me as a fan,
I disagree.
for me as a
Houston might have
fan,
got one.
nah, for me as a
Houston might have got
fan,
one.
that's why Jordan is the GOAT in my book. Because once he started to win and he learned how to win, there was no beating him. Then there's no other player has done that. You'll have a player like when the last time LeBron won the ring,
Since 2020.
and then before that, what was it like 6 years? He got 4 or 5
It
years
was,
in between
2016.
each time. You know what I'm saying? There's too many gaps in between before you winning rings. You see what I'm saying?
Like I said, I said the game evolved in the past couple years.
And that light skinned boy got a case of being the best in his era.
But y'all saying the game evolved, but the game evolved in favor of the player. So it's in favor of
I'll put it this way.
longevity.
I'll put it this way. In the past 25 years, this is just a parable. In the past 25 years, technology has advanced more than it has in the past 200 in just 25 years.
Cool.
That's what I'm saying. Now imagine if Mike would have had that type of health treatment to make him play longer than.
We don't know that. All I know is that
no record that anybody could ever beat.
All I know is that in Michael Jordan's time, it was archaic. It was old fashioned. The times have changed.
No, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. Watching the game of basketball is no different now than in Jordan's era.
I feel like the players are better now than they were.
I'm gonna kill that.
They not.
I'm gonna kill that.
They just have more space now. They're not better players.
That is another reason why.
And the reason why they have the more it's a downfall because them having more space
they can shoot
leads to
better.
more injuries.
Because they can
not
shoot
that
better
they can
than
shoot better.
No.
Man, come on.
No.
They don't have better shooting percentages.
And you made a great point. That's why Michael Jordan is great. Because in his time, he played like these niggas. So he looked extremely better than them. Everybody in this league is a spitting image of Michael Jordan.
He was evolved.
So with all the technology of today's age, today, who still has the highest vertical in the NBA?
Besides Wilt, Mike.
I don't know.
Mike.
I don't know. It's vertical.
I'm telling you, 48-inch vertical. Only Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain has ever recorded that.
I don't think that makes him the greatest player to ever play the game.
I'm telling you, it's not about the archaic stuff. I'm telling you, these guys are athletic as well. You are who you are. It don't matter what era you play in.
He wasn't going over half court and pulling up a jumper from half court.
Because he didn't have to. He was jumping from the free throw line, jumping over 7-footers.
And to be honest, nobody's doing that great. But
He was doing it. He was taking off from the hash marks, getting knocked down, pulled down by power forwards with centers hanging on his neck. That's what he was doing. He was going from one side of the court, gliding, reversing to the other side.
Bigger, faster,
That's what
stronger.
he was doing.
That's what basketball today. Bigger, faster,
coming
stronger.
across half court, pulling up like that. That's not.
Nobody was stronger than Anthony Mason. Don't give me bigger, faster, stronger.
I'm not doing that.
Nobody was stronger than Charles Oakley,
Xavier McDaniel,
Michael Cage. You crazy?
To the question at hand.
Bigger, faster, stronger.
That comment he made was bullshit, and it made no sense. And I hate that
I didn't agree with all of it, but yeah, it's too.
He could have
Can we move on?
That was
we
some
can.
sissy shit, right? Well, I don't want to say that word, but that was some gay. Just cut everything I just said out.
Is Damian Lillard a Hall of Famer? He averaged 25 points, 6.7 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 4.3 rebounds. He's played 900 regular season games. He's a prolific 3-point shooter, can shoot from anywhere. We're talking about half court. He's one of those guys. He has 15 career games with 50 or more points. Scores 71 points in a game, and is the 8th player to reach that mark. 9-time All-Star, All-Star game MVP.
Yes. I thought that when I said while you were reading it, I thought you meant top 75. But yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. If T-Mac in the Hall of Fame,
He already got top 75.
No, I'm saying he
got the emblem.
I know that. I thought when he was reading that I don't think Damian Lillard is top 75, but I think he's a Hall of Famer.
I wouldn't put his ass in the Hall of Fame.
Why not? T-Mac.
Dre wouldn't put nobody in the Hall of Fame.
Man, you got to win for me to be in there.
T-Mac in there.
So you're saying you got.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have put T-Mac in there.
Once you put T-Mac in there,
I wouldn't have put T-Mac in there.
I wouldn't have.
But T-Mac was the best player in the league for a couple of years.
Yeah, he was. But Kobe had an argument about that. You know what I'm saying? It was arguably he was the best player.
So real quick, is Damian Lillard a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? Let me guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not my book.
I don't think so.
Why?
Because he only went to the Western Conference Finals and he got swept.
I'm saying,
that's the furthest he ever got.
Okay, but there's a lot of players that didn't get that far that were
Hall of Famers.
So
same reason why Gilbert
because Dick Barnett got it in 1959.
This is my point. Like, the criteria for the Hall of Fame, he fits that. If you putting.
Do you think Larry Nance is a Hall of Famer?
So hold on.
Dre, do you think Larry Nance is a Hall of Famer? You know what I'm going to say.
But I'm going to go back because y'all threw T-Mac as an example. So was D. Lillard ever considered the best player in the NBA at any point?
He was one of the top.
He was one of the top.
So why would you compare him as T-Mac?
I didn't compare him to T-Mac.
I just said they body of work besides
Get out the way.
His body of
How it
work.
works.
His body of work besides those 2 years is equivalent.
Equivalent to what?
Damian Lillard.
Nah, I mean,
You said he
so,
was 2 years.
but you got
You
those
said
2
2
years.
years.
But you got those 2 years
That's
of being
2 years, and he was in the league.
Lillard has never been considered the best player.
He was considered
One
the
of
best point guard or one of them for at least 2-3 years.
One of the best point guards, but the point guard ain't
five.
even considered the best
He
player.
was a top 5 player at least 2 years.
He's come top 10 in the MVP race 5 times.
Yeah, Damian
Top
Lillard.
10 is nothing.
He's been top
10?
5 once.
He been in the top 5 for
Wow,
MVP.
bro.
One time. How many
just saying, how
all
many team
NBA
that?
first teams?
He has 1, and then 4 second teams and
ain't
2
bad.
third
One?
teams.
Just one.
I'm just saying,
And I
how
bet
many-
and I
how
bet
many
you
team
that
that
one
got?
year
Go
he
to
got
T-Mac
it.
stats.
I bet
Steph
you
Curry
one
was
year
hurt
he
for the
got
whole
it.
year.
Steph Curry was hurt that whole year.
It was 17-18. Steph Curry was healthy.
Somebody was hurt.
No,
Clay.
They won.
better than
They
Clay.
won.
Come on,
They
man.
played
He
in
better
the.
than Clay.
They played in the finals that year.
He better than Clay.
I thought not that year.
better
They
than
played. Yeah, they played in
So
the
y'all
finals that
giving
year.
Clay too much credit.
So that,
Y'all be giving Clay too much credit.
So if you
Man, boy,
Y'all
you,
give
He
Clay
used
too
to
much
lock niggas
credit.
down.
Clay used to lock you down. Clay could have scored 100 points, man, if they didn't sub him out that game.
Bro, he scored 70 points on 11
three
Damian
quarters.
dribbles.
Lillard
Yeah, he
scored
was balling.
71.
On 4 quarters, though. Clay had that in 3
Three
quarters.
quarters.
He was, yeah, now
wait,
Clay was,
hey,
Clay
First
scored
of all,
like
he
30
coulda-
something
he
in one
coulda had
quarter.
100.
First of all,
Clay on another level.
I think that Clay is good. But
Don't talk
act like-
about Clay.
Don't act like Damian Lillard ain't nice.
His daddy named him Clay.
Don't act like Damian Lillard
So,
ain't nice.
would I take Clay in his prime or Dame in his prime?
Depending
I'm
on what
taking
you're trying to
Clay
do.
in his prime.
Depending on
I'm
what
taking
you're trying.
Dame.
I'm taking Clay
taking
because
a
Clay
two-way
locking
player.
you up too.
I think Clay is good, but y'all when people talk about Clay, y'all act like he eons better than motherfuckers.
See, the nigga got you 39
He's the
in a
second
quarter.
greatest shooter of all time.
He got you
That's just
39 in a
shooting.
quarter.
He only could shoot. Could you put
he ain't
Clay,
have no bag.
Listen, could you put Clay on another team and he do what Damian Lillard did? No.
Damian Lillard on another team and he can't do shit.
Damian Lillard had his own team and we win it. We go into the playoffs. I'm knocking niggas out, and I went to the Western Conference
Arguably,
Finals.
CJ McCullough was the dude.
Oh,
Lillard was hurt most of the
I can't
time.
do- I can't
I'm
do
talking
this.
about. I'm just
I
saying.
can't do this. I
One
can't
game,
do
his
this.
knee hurt. He ain't
I
playing
can't
the
do
next
this.
game.
I can't do this.
I'm just
I ain't
saying.
going now.
He was.
I can't do this.
I'm definitely not
He was
seeing
so-
that.
Can't do this.
We'll move on
CJ
to the.
nice, though.
I give
Oh,
Lillard the
like-
one
CJ
game. I give him
Oh,
that
like-
one season when he
nice.
did this to Westbrook and Paul George. I give him that.
What about when he
He
got
knocked Houston out.
Houston out?
That was Houston with Westbrook and Harden.
We'll
That was
move on to.
Houston, and Dwight Howard was there.
We'll move on to the next topic. I'm going to skip the KD topic because we
Yeah,
got a
Clay.
lot on the
I
KD
like Clay,
last
though.
week. Is that okay?
Yeah, well, yeah.
We touched on
KD?
KD. Yeah, it's just about him and the Knicks. I'm gonna hit this Angel Reese topic because I definitely want to get these guys up here in a little bit. But Angel Reese wins Sportswoman of the Year award at the BET Awards. Were there any other valuable candidates?
yeah.
Caitlin Clark.
It's the BET Awards.
Simone Biles,
Simone Biles,
Clarissa Shields,
Clarissa Shields,
Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson.
I'm joking,
what
man.
is Simone
Nah, I know you ain't.
I'm joking. Yeah, I
Say-
am. I love Angel
say
Reese. Angel, I love you,
I
baby.
don't know what she do this
Simone
year.
Biles.
One mic
love
on
you,
Corey.
baby.
One mic Corey.
Simone Biles is like the GOAT of gymnastics, bro. She got more Olympic medals than
Did she do
Yeah.
that?
But the
Did she
Olympics
do that
was a
this
couple
year?
last year,
Did she
2
do
years
this
ago.
year?
No,
That's why I'm asking.
She did that like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, but we
They
talking about
gave
for
they,
this year.
they gave it to Angel Reese because it's a year award, but Clarissa Shields getting ready to go for her like a fucking 5th belt this year.
yeah, but Angel Reese is taking one for the culture and the team, man.
Yeah, we talked about that
Yeah,
yesterday.
she taking one for the team. You got to give it to her, man. She's
love Angel
she's
Reese.
being
But
the
you
villain.
could have gave it to A.
You could have gave it to somebody.
You could have gave it to
Asia
Asia.
Wilson,
Could have gave it to Asia Wilson.
yeah,
I'm just.
or Clarissa Shields. I feel. So how many people she knocked out this year?
Ooh, damn.
She only fought once, this year twice.
But she got into it with the little beef with Remy. So
And Pat-
Black
She ain't signing.
Black
She
culture
ain't
might
trying to
not
see
like
Remy
her
though.
right now.
yeah,
Black culture
trying to
like
see
Remy.
Remy.
they
We
be like
like
you.
Remy.
We like Remy.
We like
She-
Remy.
Yeah, don't-
You can't punch a bullet.
Yeah, you're right. We all love Remy, so you know.
I know they also had nominated old girl from LSU, Flojae Johnson and
Flojae nice.
and
Juju could have got
yeah,
it.
but they was in college, so they not gonna give it to them
Why not?
just because they in college, bro. I don't know what
Didn't
they
they give it
cracked.
to Angel Reese while she was in college?
She won it 3 years in a row. This is her 3rd year.
Yeah, so she had to be in college. One of the
she
years.
been in the league like what
2. There's only a
It's her
second.
third year in the league now.
No, it's a second.
It's her third.
I think this is a second. I think last year was
Second.
rookie.
Let's say second.
But
Yeah, so she got it in
I
college.
like say
I
when
Juju should have got it.
when I found out about it, I disagreed with it and I let it go. I was like, hey, it is what it is.
But I don't be knowing, so I don't
It's
be
the
knowing
BET
about
Awards.
Simone
Yeah,
Biles.
that's
I'm
the
like,
thing. It's the
yeah.
BET Awards. What are y'all even giving out awards for? What the fuck is BET
Hey, they gave,
giving out awards
hey,
for
you
still?
know BET.
Nobody watched BET.
BET fucked up because you gave Glorilla an award in the gospel section.
We talked
so
about
that's
that yesterday.
Yeah.
that
That's
It should be the Tyler Perry Awards.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off topic, but speaking of what we hear outside right now, I just got word we just attacked Iran while we sitting here.
Damn,
Are you
we
serious,
fucked.
bro?
Yeah, I saw
I knew
it.
that was coming, and and the reason why they're in the streets protesting right now is to distract us from going to war with Iran.
Oh, we already about to go.
That's
We
the
sober.
reason why they
Iran, the last
protest.
person we
Fucked up, bro.
the last country we should ever go.
And
attack.
Russia
Just
about
fucked up, man.
Russia about to fuck us over. So.
When we going to Iraq with Iran, and not only top of this, they still gunning for his head anyway because he assassinated somebody over there about like 2-3 years ago. He had a clearance, then he went and did it anyway. Bro, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I ain't.
What we do? We sent some nuclear
I'm glad
shit
I ain't
over
young enough to get drafted.
there? What we sent some nuclear shit over there?
I don't know. I just got news. We just attacked Iran.
Well, hey,
Well, because they already
They attacked
had
3 of their
said-
nuclear
We,
bases.
I guess we sent our biggest fighter jet.
Yeah, we were already there because Israel and Iran been shooting
Yeah.
back and forth for the last few days.
this
So
shit fucked up.
America had crossed the line and said, if you attack this base, now we're in it. So now
But the
we're
problem
in it.
is we Trump y'all boy pulled us out the UN.
Yeah,
We ain't got no allies.
screwed.
Yeah, we should have never did that.
I
dumb.
pray that he do not bring back the draft. Man,
They ain't gonna
shit.
bring back no draft. It don't matter.
shit.
What you mean?
We don't do no.
We already got-
We
It ain't no guerrilla warfare.
Shit.
This
We
is all
need bodies.
technology.
It is.
We
It
need
is.
bodies.
We really don't need bodies like we
Like
used to use bodies
it's
no more.
because our Navy.
Yeah.
Now this one I was in the Navy.
We-
when I went in the
yeah,
Navy in 04, we
it's
might have been the
all-
best Navy.
Technology
China,
now.
We
Drones
fucked.
and shit.
Yeah, we fucked
Damn,
China and Japan and caught up.
Yeah, that's crazy. What?
China and Japan.
We are not like years ahead of people.
We are
These
not
niggas-
like when I went in 04.
Man, Russia
our
got
Navy,
shit.
Our Navy
He
had
was in the
technology,
service,
like,
too.
Yeah.
Our Navy was the shit. Then it as it went. Yeah, that shit is over.
Man,
China way
I'm
ahead
scared
of
than
us.
a motherfucker right now.
China over there building fake suns and shit.
Man, I ain't worried about that shit, man.
Shit.
Right.
Iran, boy.
You don't need the nukes.
hey.
You don't want that.
You out of there and you just bring your ass to Porto
Oh no,
You bring your ass together. You bring your ass together and see what happens to you.
Hey, hold up.
That got to get cut out.
You bring your ass together.
Don't let the
That's got to get cut out.
I ain't worried about
I ain't
that
trying to
shit.
get that viral.
We'll move on to Shador Sanders. He was cited for driving 101 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone in Ohio. How does this show his decision making? How does this weigh on his decision making?
Man, he
Shit,
a
we
kid.
all be speeding,
Damn, He a
man.
kid too.
Man,
He probably got.
I did 110 on Broadway coming here.
So sometimes you have a type of vehicle that you can be doing 100, don't even know you're doing 100. So it ain't like he got a race car. He was drag racing down
What
the
he was
strip.
driving?
That
Probably a
didn't-
Maserati or something.
Yeah, I was about to say. And sometimes I
That's
have
the
a
second
fast
time,
car
bro.
and I want to drive the motherfucker.
I don't know about any other
That's why
time.
they fast.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know
I'm in
about
the
any
vet.
time.
Why I'm
I
going?
don't think none of that. Now, if he was drag racing through the streets,
yeah. Or he
I'd be
was
like
drunk.
wilding. You know
No,
what I'm
that's
saying?
the
Yeah, I remember I used to do the dumbest shit in the world. I used to come across Georgia, that bridge. And I used to come 100 every night.
Because there wasn't no cars on that. You know it wasn't gonna be no.
Yeah,
cars.
but it
second
still
time
was
they say
dumb.
they go to,
I could have killed myself.
My grandfather let us get the vet. Floating down Broadway.
They said that's the second time they caught his ass speeding.
Man, I don't know that shit.
And then it was an NBA player that
He
just
ain't
got
going to
caught
jail.
speeding not
Bring
too
on
long
his
ago,
head,
too.
man.
But,
He ain't going to jail.
but to be real though, you don't want your quarterback getting caught for that. That's not a good decision.
Wait.
Well, we know
What
it's
is
not a good
speed?
decision,
Y'all
but
act like he was drunk. It's speeding.
Yeah, but you could have. What about Paul Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
know
was the
what I'm
second
saying? Like,
citation.
motherfuckers-
The
motherfuckers-
first, the first one was for 91 miles per hour.
He ain't learned from Henry Ruggs.
91 and a 30.
A 65.
He's on the highway.
Henry Ruggs did like what was
I just
it?
got a ticket on the toll road.
Right.
for that.
Henry
not
Ruggs
bad,
did 102
Yeah.
and killed a person and a dog.
Now I feel you.
They
I
on
would-
Shador neck, man.
I
You
would
just
say-
don't want your star court. You want them making better decisions than that.
I would say that, obviously he's young. He's going to make mistakes and things like that. The last 23-year-old that I knew of in Ohio to get cited for the same exact thing, going the same exact speed, is LeBron James, and he turned out okay. So
did he really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It'd be all right.
So he'll be
They should have arrested Shador then. 'Cause we don't want him going down that same
Talking about a
path.
speeding ticket, though.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
not-
yeah,
Y'all act
but-
like he had dope in the car.
No, we ain't acting like that. You know, I mean, it's just like you have to, as a black man, you already know you giving them ammo.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah,
already wanted something.
Yeah.
They something to bitch about.
me and Coach are gonna hop out and you step out.
Let these gentlemen talk.
Yep.
I volunteered to give my seat up.
All right, we're gonna bring on my nephews. We're gonna chat it up. We're gonna get some
The YN.
get a little perspective of the NBA finals and everything from their perspective. What's going on, fellas?
Shit, I'm about to step off. Then.
Put the mic. Man, everybody gonna step off.
Yeah. I don't got no questions for the whole thing.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
It's cool.
Coach coming back.
Coach coming, man.
I know these two gentlemen right here. Coached them, so I know who they is.
Yeah, so it's my sons right here. To my right, I got Dejan.
Now let them introduce themselves.
Yeah. You can do that. You can do that, bro.
Mouse.
Speaking to the mic, bro.
Yeah, talking to the mic.
My name's Jeremiah.
It sounds like it's off.
It sound like it's off.
You hit the switch on them. There you go.
Speaking to it.
Jeremiah.
What platforms can they follow you on, bro?
Really anything? No, I got Instagram. I don't know what my Instagram is off my head. I don't know any of my social.
So you can't follow me.
Can't follow him
Can't
right now.
Private.
He's unfollowable.
All right.
My name Dejan. You can follow me on Instagram. I think it's like D2Shifty or something like that. So
Y'all ain't got no TikTok, no nothing like that, huh?
Yeah, we do, but I
I
don't
don't even know my
username.
TikTok.
Okay, all good.
All right, fellas. So what's been going on this summer?
Basketball.
Basketball. Huh? How's summer league going?
We going all right. I mean,
Yeah, we just had a game in Indy yesterday. 3 games.
How did y'all do?
Downstate.
Not too good. We lost 2 games. We won the first one. Lost next 2.
Oh, y'all was at the Charlie Hustle?
we went to Fisher's.
Who did y'all play?
Okay.
We
I ain't
played.
go. He only he
We
went.
played Noblesville. We played Pike, and we played some other purple team, some weak team.
Brownsville?
Nah.
Oh,
So
okay.
were they like Division 2, D3, anything like that? Like in high school?
Nah,
Because
I
you
don't
got
think
like,
so.
all right.
I don't know. But the second team we played, they got to be something because, I mean, you know the other light skin look just like him on my team, Devontae? He almost got yammed on like crazy. It was crazy.
Man, I hate coming to y'all games because y'all both wear the same number somehow, and y'all look
crazy.
alike. So I'm like, damn, I need some glasses. I'm like, go nephew. I'm like, oh, that was the other nigga.
wait.
Like, dang.
How tall was these cats?
It wasn't nothing too crazy. I mean, it's like one dude, I mean, he was like 6'6", but the rest were like normal height, a little bigger than us. But one dude, he was dunking all game, almost dunked on Devontae. And you know
Man,
Devontae,
you gonna put Devontae out there on TV like
I
that?
don't even care, man. That
He
was the craziest thing I
said
did.
almost. He said almost.
Yeah, he ain't
almost,
dunked
he
on him.
almost got done.
Back rim saved him, but I mean, it wasn't-
Okay, I got a couple questions for y'all. So since y'all young, and I always wonder about this because, especially being my children and I'm seeing it up close, I wonder how y'all friends are. Do they watch sports at home? Do they watch a lot of basketball, football?
not all of them.
See, I never understood that because our generation, we was always watching the games.
So y'all just play it and don't watch it?
Because, yeah, Chesterton don't really take basketball that seriously.
Nah,
At
we
least our
do.
freshmen. Our freshmen, nah.
So
They
you
don't
mean
care.
tell me y'all friends don't like watch the game to like maybe look at it, to study a player, but like, okay, what they doing on the court, I want to learn
Practice
how to do
those
this.
moves.
Yeah.
Maybe a few.
Well, since like we have like social media now, TikTok and all that, we can just like watch like short films of it. So we don't really pay attention to like the big games.
Oh man.
So it's just
Yeah.
like the highlights.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
really
I-
can't get the moment of the
Yeah.
game. So you're really not watching the game. You're just seeing a highlight of something, the way they put the clip together.
Usually,
So that's just the positive points.
only games I watch live, playoffs, championships, and then when I'm at my dad's house and he's watching the game. Sometimes I'll go down there and watch with him. Right
Yeah,
now,
so he just
got
asked who their favorite player was. So
You got that.
You already know, bro. LeBron James, man.
Well,
LeBron James. Okay.
I knew that last year when I met him. I was like, "You like LeBron?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh gosh."
What about you, Jay?
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
oh, Mark, if Mark was here, boy, Mark,
Mark.
He's showing some love.
Mark, if Mark was here, boy, that's crazy.
He'll be wild.
That's what's
good.
up.
That's
So
good.
so in the GOAT debate, let's hear it. You got 5 seconds.
LeBron James,
Why?
greatest of all time. I ain't got nothing to say. He just, like, I don't know.
Jay,
I
who you
can't
got?
do this in 5 seconds. I can't.
The
do this in
GOAT
5 seconds.
debate. Who you got?
All right. So, usually I would just say LeBron. I'm not gonna say Mike, but I'm more on the neutral side because the thing is, LeBron played for 20 years, so his statistics, you can't really like compare him to MJ because he played for so long. But skill wise, LeBron James is better. He's a superhuman on the basketball court. I don't care. Y'all, MJ reverse layup across the court with his tongue out. LeBron did that every game,
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He would dunk on
He's
the
never
line.
done that one time.
bro.
Well, you say he dunk on. He don't dunk
He's
on
the most-
anybody.
He's one of the most athletic players in a while that I've seen.
No,
Yeah.
you haven't.
Yes.
Seen, that's because you
Yes.
haven't seen players like Dominique Wilkins.
Oh,
I said not
Stacey
not-
Ogman.
No, not that long. I mean like since recent times.
recent.
But I just said Jordan has the highest vertical in NBA history. So that means he's the most athletic player.
And he can't say they don't see it because I'd be watching Jordan.
Right.
Nah, I
so,
knew that.
So he's
Documentaries.
the
Oh,
most.
yeah.
Have y'all ever heard of a thing called
like that-
hang time?
Yes. But like the thing is, you can say like jumping, but is he faster? Is he stronger?
Yes.
No.
He's
no.
not. No.
What
he's
is
not
what
strong as
what is
LeBron
hang
James.
time in your book?
How long you are in the air?
That's why they call him Air Jordan, bro.
That's how long you in there for.
That's why.
So
he got the nickname.
so do you know? Do any NBA players you know how have any hang time now?
LeBron.
Only person in the NBA has ever had hang time. They created that term for Jordan.
For Jordan.
Jordan used to stay in the air
And
an
just-
extra half a second.
I understand.
Nobody still can do that. You can't understand it unless you've
Okay.
seen it.
Yes, I understand that. You can't say just because he had the most hang time, no one else had good hang time. You can't say
Yeah.
that.
Nobody else
I don't see
can
nobody else
hang
doing it
in
now.
the air as long as him. That's why
Yeah,
he had.
as long as him, but players really close to that.
Who?
Derrick Jones
Many
Jr.
player.
Who?
Derrick Jones Jr.
Derrick Jones Jr. No. Derrick Jones Jr. don't have any. hang
Who they
time.
call him? Airplane or something
He's
like that?
Bro,
he's
John Morant, Vince Carter. John Morant.
Oh
you
yeah,
got-
Vince had some hang.
Vince Carter. was
Vince.
hang-
Vince had hang time.
Vince
Yeah,
had hang time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Vince had hang time. Yeah.
All right, I got it.
I mean, John Morant doing dunks back here
So-
on an alien.
I get it.
Who's doing that? MJ not doing that.
Hey, I'm telling you,
I
we're gonna
swear
argue with them like we argue with Swill. So I ain't doing it.
Everybody,
Go ahead.
My
everybody
kids,
can
man.
do that.
I'm telling
Who's
you.
dunking on
Kenny Smith can
Victor
do what
Wembanyama.
Kenny Smith did what John Morant used to do.
Oh, no, wow. Hey, so let's move this forward. so
Kenny
we can
Smith
get out
was
of here.
athletic
Yeah,
like
Kenny
that
Smith
too.
had hops. He did.
Kenny Smith was athletic
he had
like that
hops.
too, bro.
Yeah.
Let's move this along so we get out of here. I do have a question that would mean something for all of us, for the boys though. What do you guys feel about playing for your dad? I've coached my boys in 3 different sports.
Dude, why'd you ask them that, boy?
No, because
you go
because,
first.
because this is the same way a lot of kids feel
Yeah.
about playing for their parents.
Yeah, he got a point on that.
They just don't they don't usually feel like they have the space to say it because they feel like they get in trouble.
Right.
But speak for all kids. I mean, say what you gotta say.
Go ahead.
We won multiple championships though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I am the expert.
This doesn't go for like everybody that has a dad as a parent or as a coach.
How
but
you feel?
How
Yeah.
like I don't know about my brother, but I mean, obviously my dad watches the NBA like no one else. But sometimes I feel like you correlate, some things in professional ball to stuff that we did in PYB.
Yeah.
Like we not MJ. I mean, we was 13 years old and you would get mad at us because we didn't dunk on somebody on basketball.
That's not
That's
true.
not realistic.
That's not true.
That's not real.
That's not
hey,
true.
my kids
But you
are
know what
funny
I mean,
too,
though.
bro.
Nah. That perception.
The
of
fundamentals of the game
Right.
correlates.
any
as
coach is
people
going to
like-
hold you to a standard. So if NBA players is the standard, if that's the goal, if that's where you want to be, then every time you're on that court, that's what your ambition should be, and that's the standard that you should hold. If it's your dad or if it's any coach, they're going to hold you to that.
So how did you feel?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's just like, I don't know. I don't really feel like, I don't know. I just like seeing him every day, and then and then seeing him at basketball. It's just like I don't really want to see him here.
Like, why was you crying? Why was you crying every game?
Hey,
Why was you crying all the time?
Listen. I know he's saying because Dad gives us enough like about basketball, like whether it's helpful like words or if it's like construction, like criticism, stuff like that. But I feel like I know Dejan's always on the court, so I could even hear when Dad says something to him when he's trying to lock in, like, and he makes a mistake, and it's almost like he's trying to have a conversation with him on the court, and you could tell, you could hear in his voice, and it gets in his head. So I feel like that's stuff that you should save for before and after the game, not in the game.
So
I know
have you-
even he's done that to me before in the game. And
So
I
have
got
you
mad.
heard of a moral compass?
No.
So a moral compass is, so for you guys, your moral compass should be your dad because he's in your life. He's a strong role model. And at that point, he was your coach. So your moral compass is, that's that man in your head like, am I going to do this way, the way I want to do it, or if I'm going to do it the way my moral compass, in this case, is your dad. So all he's doing is reminding you guys that, hey, this is the way that you're supposed to do it. So he can give you a look or give you a nod, you know what I'm saying, just to nudge you in the right direction, not necessarily trying to get in your head to have you do things his way, because your moral compass already know that if I shoot this shot wrong, my dad gonna look at me because I know I didn't spread my finger. You know what I'm saying, right? Your moral compass already tell y'all that, right? Yeah. So when you look over there and you see him, you already know what he's feeling. So he's like, don't let it get into your head because he just got your best interest at heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing that I would like makes me mad is like if we down, I'm doing something wrong. The last thing I want to hear is my dad. Like, but it's my coach. I'd be like, no, that's not I could do, but like, at least
yeah, I understand that part. I understand that part. So you can't separate the dad and the coach at that part,
right? Because last year when we was playing PYB, and I was playing against y'all, Coach Dre would say some of the same things he would be saying to both of y'all, and I'll be sitting there looking at them like, huh? And then I look back at Dre with that look, and I'm just sitting on the, coaching, and I'm just looking like, wow, like, dang. I'm like, okay, I understand it, but this y'all giving him the same look? Because it was one point in time, I think it was one of those games. You had came down and you shot like 3-pointers in a row, and you missed them, but you didn't get back up on defense. Mm-hmm. And Dre got mad at you, and I was like, I seen it because I understood it. It's not the simple fact is that you shot it. I shot it. I made a bad shot. Get your butt back on defense, because you remember last year when we was playing in Hammond, we was in championship game, and I think you came down. You was getting off. You was getting hot, and Dre kept saying, "Hey, get back up on defense." And he pulled you out within like a minute, and you came and he was like, "Man, what does he mean? Why he pulling me out?" And I had to tell you, "Hey, this is what he's doing. You got to see it from his point of view. You may be getting off, but I need you to still get back and play defense, because it's going to take all 5 of us to play defense, not one person. And if one person is out of spot, that's giving them a dang on easy bucket." So I get it and I understand it. It's like, when I'm talking to his boys, it seems like they relate to what I'm saying a little bit easier, because it's like, oh man, it's dad, man. He like, I'm like, nah, he been on you because he see the game just as much as
I think I see what their point of view, and I can see how that would be the same, or a lot of people will share those same sentiments throughout the world.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to understand it, because our generation never had that. We never was coached by our fathers. So it's like, I would if I was coached by my father, I would be like, man, my father, this is my daddy. He telling me.
I'd be telling the other kids, y'all better listen to my daddy.
You know what I'm saying? That's my daddy. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? So, but I get it. I guess
I mean, that's like,
like for me with my kids though. What I try to do is like when it's game time, I'm coached that whole day. Yeah. Instead of, you know what I'm saying, just when we get to the arena. Like, I'm coach, get up, time to get ready. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm coach, I'm not daddy that day. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of understand, like, I'm going to be in this mode. Don't come to me with that stuff. We going to be on this, you know what I'm saying? That way, when it's time for me to pull your ass out the game, you ain't looking at me like, oh, Dad, what you do? We was just kicking in on the couch. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. My dad's like biggest hype man. Like if I'm doing something good, he gonna be there. He gonna be the loudest one in the gym. But
that's
which is
true.
good.
He got me off the couch the other day. Was like, stay up here hooping. You missing it? I'm like, shit. I'm up there.
I remember I was hot one game. Devontae kicked it out to me in the corner that my dad was in, and I shot it. I made it. I hear him like he was just going nuts. I was like,
and that make y'all proud, right?
It made me
that
happy,
make y'all proud.
do y'all believe I'm y'all biggest fan?
Yeah, 100%.
That's all I care about.
That's good.
Hey, that's good.
That's
man.
good.
I think,
He is y'all biggest fan. I'm glad y'all
I
see
think
that.
the last game I went to,
Biggest
and
supporter.
y'all was up there at Chester, man. He was, me and him sitting on the dang on sideline. He like literally up walking around so he could see y'all. Hey, saying everything. So
That's just the coach.
I
in
couldn't
me
say
that-
nothing.
I'm always wanting to stand
Right.
up and it got
is
to the point
good.
the coach talks to me now. Like,
right, which is good.
I'm like they're gonna tell me to shut up one of these days.
That's
but
like
he was talking-
that's like
He
my
ain't
god
doing
brother. My god brother Puncho. He was like, "Hey man, I need you to coach my son." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause he ain't listening to me, bro. He just will not listen to me. Ever since I've been coaching his son is listening to everything I'm saying." So I get what you're saying. Like my boys, if they was playing sports, they probably been, "Oh hell no, man, Dad, you tripping? You dang on right."
All right, before we wrap it up, y'all try to give us y'all take on the NBA Finals. Who gonna win Game 7?
Indiana.
Indiana. So you going against your dad?
Nah, I just
Yeah, I hear you. That you like going against the grain,
What you
nephew.
got,
That's just what you do.
I see your head over there. He like,
Who you got?
He had a toss up right now.
All right, I want OKC, but I think Pacers gonna win. I ain't gonna lie,
Okay.
because like, bro,
You think it's time?
I don't know what like Tyrese Halliburton has been doing like in his free time, like some rituals, some I don't even know. I don't know. I ain't never seen something like that before. Like last time I seen some
Pascal
4
Siakam.
game winners in a row, T-Mac. That's what it reminded me of. Like
Yeah.
Pascal
that's great.
Siakam.
Like
Who
clutch.
else?
Like
TJ McConnell. It's just different.
So now you going for the Pacers? I mean, what are you doing?
Pacers. I'm been
And then he breaking down the players like what each player
Oh, you
been
did say
doing.
Pacers. That's right. My
this,
bad.
I don't think it's real, but like, have y'all seen the clip of Pascal Siakam in their huddle? Like
Yeah.
eyes rolling like
Yeah.
that. I don't know what that was.
He
That
did the
was
Papa
crazy.
Shango.
That was crazy.
The Undertaker.
If he do it again and we win, I'll take
Hey,
it.
he did the shit
Pacers
off
in 7,
wasn't
man.
no-
I've been saying it all day.
Hey,
That wasn't no huddle. That was
OKC and 7. I said a 6, but okay. You know, it's
Pacers in
it's a wrap.
7. All right, we're gonna get up
OKC,
out of here.
UFC, KFC, Thunder in 7.
We gonna wrap it up.
All right, follow us on all networks. The Sports Panel Podcast.
LadiesApparel.com.
You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy, Mr. Daddy, sir.
Indeed. Let's wrap it up, yo.
The expert.